G'day viewers, shooting a video with Matt, his bi-weekly slap video, and thought we'd have a little chat the way we have been doing the last couple of weeks. And Matt's got a return performance of your comedy festival show coming up?
Yes indeed, on Wednesday the 29th. Thought Crime, a show about the dangers of walking through society with a loaded brain, will be coming back just for one night. And it's a show I've had a lot of fun with because I always enjoy defending the thinking person and often against the unthinking person, which is all sorts of fun.
We were having a discussion about, it's a recurring theme for both of us, stupid people. And your show before Thought Crime.
Matt versus stupid, so clearly the theme's ongoing. What has gotten me on a couple of occasions, and I was actually reminded with our conversation, when you get people who are in a situation where they should know better and almost choose to screw up. Key example for mine was the documentary Grizzly Man. I've forgotten the name of the guy it's about, but he was researching bears and was living near a family of bears, and his theory was, if I'm not aggressive, they'll leave me alone. And they ate him. And he should have known that was coming. The way I'd like to put it is, if I see a particularly friendly and non-confronting kebab, I'm still going to eat it. It's alive as long as I'm not hungry and no longer. And he really should have kind of picked up on that hang on, I'm made of their lunch.
Yeah.
Perhaps I should keep their lunch away from them as it keeps my heart beating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always a bit sad when an expert gets killed doing their expert thing.
Yeah. Another guy, and once again, I'm afraid the name escapes me, but he was an expert on sharks and decided he could give off the body language of a fellow predator.
Oh my God, I haven't heard this one.
And they would leave him alone. And one shark just neatly took his calf muscle clean off.
Oh, I have seen that guy on like Discovery Channel. Yeah, his calf muscle's missing. It looks gross.
Yeah, what was going to be a documentary about his success with animal body language is now called Anatomy of a Shark Bite. Yeah. Google that, you'll find it.
And wasn't he only like in knee-deep water when that happened?
Yep.
That's how good an expert he is. He was standing in knee-deep water where you'd think you were relatively safe, and a shark just came and took a huge munch out of his leg.
Grabbed pretty much all that was available under the circumstances.
The bit that wasn't bone was what he got.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And at least those are people who have applied some thinking. They maybe fell down in an important area.
Clearly, well, one literally.
Yeah.
After losing a calf muscle, falling down would be a pretty big option there.
And screaming loudly. Yeah. But we were also discussing, one of my pet hates, people who choose to be ignorant. We had a big discussion about stupidity or ignorance, which is better.
Yeah.
But I think we're on the same page, willful ignorance and prideful ignorance.
Yeah, people who greet the entire world with la 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 la. And then, but that doesn't stop them from offering opinions on stuff in between the la-las.
And in fact, two of my personal pet hates, creationists and global warming deniers, both of them have this key phrase that they use, I can't conceive of how that can happen, because you're not very bright. Yeah. I can stop there. So I'm not smart enough to understand, so therefore I'm right. No. You're not smart enough to understand, so shut up and let the scientists talk. Just a thought.
It's a fascinating argument to say this can't be happening because I have no imagination.
Yeah. And we did take the easy target when we were talking. From what we see, the low points tend to be reached in American political and media discourse.
The most public low points.
Public, yeah.
The ones that get put on cameras and in front of the world tend to be US politics. And that's where it gets just particularly frightening. In Australia, we don't have that clear a division between, as they put in the US, red states and blue states. And some of the representatives of in the US Congress are just like, I represent good, honest folk who don't do things like opening books or looking at the internet or nothing like that. And we think we should listen to God, and God has a plan for global warming.
Oh yeah, the Armageddon types are the ones who freak me out. That when you say you're going to destroy the world, and it's like, well, then the rapture happens and it's all good. Wait, no, you want to kill us? Wait. And they make friends with Israel, like fundamentalist Christians who make friends with Israel because they're reading of the book last book in the Bible. I was going to say Genesis. That's the first book.
The last one, Revelations?
Revelations, yeah. Their interpretation of Revelations is the Antichrist has to rise in Israel. The state of Israel has to exist. So the only reason they back Israel against, for instance, the Palestinians or the Iranians or the Lebanese or anyone is because they want Armageddon to happen, and Israel's a fundamental part of that. And I don't know. Some people say I have violent tendencies, but I'm thinking out the back, bit of education at the end of the 2 before. I'm just putting it out there.
I think there are certain ironies that need to be brought up here. The fact that, for starters, as many comedians will attest, as you travel around and stay in motels, they always have the Gideon Bible. And I personally don't smoke anything, let alone what a lot of my colleagues smoke. But apparently the Gideon Bible, the pages make really good rollies. But the Bible is just the right size and weight that if you kind of think, well, I'm going to respond to words, because, well, words aren't going to get through. Let's just try it. 4! It's just got the right kind of heft behind it.
The Gideon Bibles, if you're feeling polite, if you think someone really needs it, you get them like a King James.
You could swing out the end of a chain and just...
But, so, well, just another little plug for Matt for Thought Crime.
Thought Crime.
Coming up in a little less than 2 weeks for people in Melbourne.
That's right.
It's at 303?
Is indeed, 303 High Street in Northcote. For details, check out mattelsbury.com.
And I actually shot Matt's show during the comedy festival for him, and it might show you a little bit of it now. Throw to you, Matt. What bit would you like people to see right about now?
Well, I do a lot of news discussion, but here's an area where following crime has started to wear on my brain. I've done it a little too closely, and here's one of the results. What I'm going to play for you now is the end of every episode of Diaries of Death. This is how the narrator wraps up every single show.
Till then, sleep well, stay safe, don't die.
And isn't that a stunning combination? Sleep well, don't die. Just picturing a parent kind of doing the tongue. Have you had a good night? Good night, sweetheart. Alright, I'm going to play that again. What you need to know, I'm going to let it run for the next couple of seconds, and what you need to know is I have not doctored what you're about to hear in the slightest. It is purely as it is presented on the show, and this just gets gorgeous, trust me.
Till then, sleep well, stay safe, don't die.
Random cow makes an appearance at the end. Sleep well, Bessie is watching.